Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Team Covenant Aces Week 2 game with Paul Heaver, the two-time world champion, against Blair Bunke, who is always one of the top players on Vassal, and I'm sure in the real world as well. So two of the top players, and so Paul is having a standard Soontir Fell and a Doom Shuttle and Redline. So you often see Whisper as this third part. So he's substituting and seeing if Redline can hold his own. So I think that's a pretty good experiment. With cluster missiles ×2, and Redline's the one that gets a target lock by doing a target lock. So he's able to modify his dice here. So, and Blair is using Rebel Swarm with the main part of a stress bot, and there's the two blues with fire control systems, an A, a Z. So let's see how this goes. It's kind of an interesting rock placement, like a diagonal line, and then one clear over here. Okay. So the Lambda sets off right in the middle, and Blair he's doing a tight pinwheel formation, and he'll barrel roll to the side. And pinwheel, that's always nice because whether they go straight, they bank, they turn, they're not going to hit each other unless the first one bumps. So best way to keep your ships close together. And Paul decides to have the red line and Soontir on the opposite side. So I'm pretty sure the A-Wing and the Lambda are just going to joust. No, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. But he turns in, so the A-Wing and the others are going to cross. Oh, no, he went out around. So I'm just going to kind of zoom through this first part. So no attacks yet. Soontir is going to be getting a little closer. Okay, so that's pretty nice for Paul. He's able to get an attack on the stress bot, who won't be able to double stress him back because it's only range 1 and 2 with the ion, which is very different from now the twin laser turret, which is ranges 3 and 2 that you're able to double stress, which I think is very powerful with him. So 2 hits against 1. So 1 damage goes through, and Paul Heaver is deciding to do a Vader. So he's going to take 2 damage to take off another shield. And a stress on the Lambda does 2 evades, so doesn't get damage from Blair. Only damages himself. Alright. So because of that, Lambda couldn't just stall there because he was stressed, so he's going to have to go probably faster than he wanted to, and takes a damage from the asteroid. So he's hurt himself 3 times now, and it's nice. Blair can just slowly go up and meet him head on, so that's pretty nice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a lot of dice that's going to be going their way. Redline is able to be in range 2. He can use the cluster against the gold. And Soontir Fell. Let's see, he's avoided all the arcs here, but he can just avoid the A. So, very well done. So Soontir is able to get 2 hits and a crit through. Injured pilot's the crit, but that doesn't really matter. So Cluster gets 3 hits, so 2 goes through on the first one. He has 1 hit left, so he's gone now. So the stress bot wasn't able to double stress at all. So he's going to go after the Z, so 2 hits and a crit on the Z, who was able to only take the 1 crit for the shield, and Paul Heaver decides to Vader again to take off another shield. So that's taken off 4 damage for 2 shields. And I don't know if that Lambda is going to be able to survive all these. Actually, I've already watched this, and I know that it won't be able to survive all these. So he is gone. So this is a huge round. I'd always kind of put yourself in both of these players' shoes. What would you do? That's kind of the best way to get better at this game, and see if you kind of do what these players decide. So Soontir is in a really tough spot because he's stressed. He's got 2 asteroids, just not a lot of options. And fortunately, Redline, I'm not too familiar with the Punisher's dial, but it can just go 1 forward, which is great because Imperials usually have to go pretty fast, and so it's nice that he doesn't have to go so fast. So the A-Wing turns pretty hard, and Blair's taking advantage of this opportunity to just go after Soontir like crazy, because if he does anything green, he's gonna bump. And Blair decides to do a 3 hard turn, which avoids 2 arcs, but he remains stressed and he can't turtle up. So Redline is going after, I think it is interesting. Well, yeah. I just trying to think if I would go after the Z, who's already damaged, but he's going after the B, which is probably the bigger long-term target. And he's able to deal 3 damage with range 1 cluster mines. Okay, so he just hit crit on Fell, who gets 4 rolls, does 2 evades, so a crit does go through, and he loses a stealth. And what is the crit? It is injured pilot. So that essentially is game. I mean, there's not much Soontir. I mean, Soontir all alone, this would be kind of the uphill battle, I think. But very doable. But now that he's just lost his pilot skill, or he lost his ability and pushed the limit, there's really no hope. And the prototype was able to get another damage through. So that was a really bad round. And I've already seen this, so I do know that was, I mean, it's pretty much over. There's not much that can be done. Blair has the advantage, and as long as he doesn't really mess up too bad, he can just, he can easily have this, which he's able to do. So it's just kind of taking a bit longer, but these guys against Soontir. But that was game. It was, I don't know if it was a great way to tell or see if Redline can compete with Whisper in that role. With the cluster missiles, it can definitely do some damage. And with the Connernet, it has some tricks up its sleeve, but the decloaking ability with Whisper's tricks up its sleeves, I don't know if that's better. And so I definitely think more playtesting would need to be done to see how it turns out. But thanks for watching.